Commander players. Sir David here once again, and welcome back to the Kingdom. Today I am going to talk about some of the characters you can expect to run into during your time here in the realm. We all know about the lawful knights, such as myself, pledged to defend our great king. And we also know about these chaotic bandit characters who have pledged to defeat our king in mortal combat. But what about these other neutral characters? What do we know of them? Well, today we're going to dive in and take a look at what they bring to the table. Neutral characters appear in every game of Kingdoms. They oftentimes have a unique playstyle or unusual conditions required to achieve a victory. This can make them very challenging to master. Let's look at this first neutral character. This is the Usurper. He achieves a victory along a most indirect path. While face down in the game, his objective is to take out the lawful king. This puts him in league with the chaotic characters to a certain extent, so long as he is able to land the killing blow. Should the Usurper do so, his allegiance flips, becoming the lawful king himself, and aligned with the lawful knight characters for the duration of the game. As the lawful king, he now achieves victory by eliminating all non-lawful characters remaining in the game. Another non-aligned character you may run into is the Doppelganger. This shifty foe has no allegiance as the game begins, but as characters are slain throughout the course of the game, the Doppelganger can reveal his identity card to assume the form and role of a fallen player. This gives the character a type of mercenary quality, as they seek out a crucial opportunity to choose sides. Speaking of mercenaries, the sellsword role represents the mercenary in its truest form. Once the sellsword has taken damage from an enemy during the course of the game, they are required to reveal their identity. An auction process immediately takes place, with eligible players around the table bidding for the sellsword's allegiance. The player who wins the auction with the highest bid immediately loses that amount of life, but then gains the sellsword as an ally for the duration of the game. This auction process can be highly strategic. If the sellsword should have an excellent board state, they could be worth paying very dearly for. On the other hand, the sellsword's board state could be a shambles, in which case you are advised to preserve your own life total. Maybe you'll find yourself bidding against your own teammate if your identities are not yet revealed. Make no mistake, handling the sellsword auction can dramatically swing one's fortunes in a game of Kingdoms. If you fancy yourself a solo player and don't want to trouble yourself with teammates, then maybe you'll take a fancy to our next character, the Demon King. The Demon King is one of the few roles in the Kingdom that has no allies or allegiance. He wins the game simply by being the last one standing on the field of battle. The Demon King has a type of unholy strength that resurrects him to life the first time he should take lethal damage. While in his demonic state, other players may not achieve a victory condition. This is a character that demands attention while on the battlefield. One of the more unusual characters in the Kingdom is the Martyr. The Martyr is not usually trying to achieve a direct victory for himself. Instead, the Martyr acts as a type of kingmaker role that wants to influence the game towards a particular player or team. In the most heroic display, the Martyr has the ability to sacrifice his own standing and life in the game to save another player. As he does so, the Martyr wins with that player's victory condition. A well-timed sacrifice can make all the difference between victory and defeat. One of the more popular roles in the Hall of Kingdoms is the Necromancer. This is a character that wants to sow chaos in the realm, before landing as many killing blows as possible. For each killing blow the Necromancer achieves, he turns that player into an undead ally. That player discards their old identity card and draws a new one from the gained undead identity pile. Any future players slain by an undead player also become undead, even the king himself. The Necromancer and his undead allies win the game by converting all remaining players at the table into the undead. The Rogue represents another mercenary type character in the kingdom. The first time that a player dies in the game, the Rogue reveals himself and becomes chaotic aligned. But as the game continues, the allegiance of the Rogue can be easily swayed by achieving additional player deaths. The Rogue will swap between lawful and chaotic each time a player dies. This creates an interesting challenge for the table, as they will want to manipulate the course of deaths throughout the game to keep the Rogue's allegiance in check and on their side. The final character you may encounter in the kingdom is the Executioner. As noted on the roll card, this character is intended for games of only 7 or more players. The Executioner is another role that plays mainly without allies. For the Executioner to earn victory, he must achieve 3 killing blows on enemy characters at the table. Whenever the Executioner earns a killing blow, he achieves a trophy emblem. These emblems are powerful effects intended to boost the Executioner's power as he gets closer to victory. Well then, our kingdom certainly holds no shortage of characters. Now you'll be prepared for that sneaky rogue ambush or that heroic save from the martyr. Good luck out there, champion. You'll need it, and I'll see you around the kingdom.